Today's review is going to be one of my favorite things that I own. It is going to be the JCB 427 loader. Just some quick information about this loader. It's about 30,000 pounds without any bucket or anything on it. It has a lift capacity of around 12,000 pounds, so roughly moves about 3 yards of gravel just fine, including the weight of your bucket. I believe 154 horsepower. Obviously it's a very attractive loader. It's extremely tall. I mean, I don't know exactly how tall it is, but it's very tall. So just some pros, and there's quite a bit. I actually like this loader quite a lot. The pros are the lights that it comes with. It comes with a ton of them. It comes with 4 pretty good size LED lights up there. Obviously it has some headlights here. Out back it has even more LED lights, 4 of them up there and 2 of them down here. Lights up at night extremely well. You definitely have no problem with the lights at night on this thing. And the other positive is all the easy grease zerks. Everything is really easy to get to. Everything's very easy to maintain. They did a great job. There's only one problem, and there's a grease zerk down here that actually works your quick attach, and it's very hidden and hard to get to, and you can only access it with nothing on. So that kind of sucks, but not that big of a deal. I have some good tires. They're good in snow. They seem to be wearing extremely bad. I mean, I do drive this down the road for like 20 miles at a time, so that probably has something to do with why the tread's going so fast. This whole entire cab, I forget how to do it, but there's a push button and it actually hydraulically lifts up so you can look at your engine and everything back there. Has a easy to get to for your fuel, obviously DEF fluid. So let's take a look into the cab. 4 steps here. Oh, actually technically 5 if you count the cab step. So about this cab, it is definitely a awesome cab. I love this cab. There's obviously, you can't tell, I'm 6'2", and there's absolutely plenty of room. I mean, that's me with my leg completely straight out, and I'm just touching the glass. So a ton of cubbies, which I love. Obviously, when I'm in here for, you know, over 10 hours at a time, sometimes plowing, there's a ton of room for snacks, drinks, and other things. I can put a ton of cubby space. There's literally enough room if you want to. You could do some like custom buddy seat or something. It's literally the size of a farm tractor cab. It's absolutely huge, very easy to get into, very easy to get out. Windows here, obviously a window there too. Obviously when you first get in this thing, it seems like it's a bit much with all the buttons and all the controls and everything, but it's really not that bad. So basically you got your quick attach here, so you can literally stay in your cab and attach buckets just like you would with like a skid steer, so you don't have to get out or plug anything in or anything like that. It's very quick and simple. Self-leveling, so when you're loading a truck or whatever and you want your bucket to on its own stay level. Has a feature that I really like, and obviously this is a must. When you're driving down the road, this actually allows your bucket to take the force of the bumps. So when you're driving down the road, the loader will independently on its own do the moving. And with this off, the cab will do the moving. So it's incredibly unbearable to drive without that setting actually on. You can't plow with it because obviously if you hit a bump when you're plowing, the whole entire plow will lift up. So obviously it has all your multitude of lights all through here. It even has a eco mode, which I've never used before. It has a very nice backup camera here, which I love, and obviously you need this thing because the visibility is pretty bad back there, but then again, I mean, you're in a loader, so you can't expect it to be any good. Overall visibility from the front is very good. You can basically see the ground here, basically see the ground there. Obviously I'm turned, so that's why you can't see the ground there. Mirrors here, mirrors there, mirrors there, mirrors there. This entire touch screen is literally the manual to this, so you can go through, check everything, do like a pre-trip examination before you start for the day, make sure everything's all right. So you actually control it with this knob here to go all through it, which obviously JCB did a great job with this. I love the system. At first it seems like it's a lot to take in, but it really isn't that bad once you get used to it. Obviously it comes with the radio up here. It does pretty well. I got one complaint with the radio, and that is that they put a charger in here that actually doesn't work. I'm not sure why they even put it in here, but I complained about it and they said you have to get a different model or a different package, and I was like, what? So I have to, when I'm listening to music, because obviously I'm not gonna listen to the radio, I'm gonna listen to my phone, I have to plug in a USB and it hangs down all the way here, which is kind of annoying, but it's not that big of a deal. It's not the end of the world. Heat and AC's up here. It's kind of confusing at first, but you get used to it. So as you can see, the 90-degree temperature there, and if you want to drop it, you obviously hit the cold and you watch it go down. So it's kind of weird how the buttons are up here and it's on the touchscreen, but like I said, you know, you'll eventually get used to it. Fan speed, same thing. If you adjust it, it moves there. Obviously you can adjust your mirrors electronically in here, which is also nice. So the heat and AC works great. I do have one complaint about the heat, I guess, and I wish there was some vents maybe along this column or along this column here, because every once in a while this will ice up and these vents down here actually won't have enough power to get over there, which is kind of annoying when you're plowing, but it's really not the end of the world. You have your fuel gauge down there, temperature gauge down there, RPMs. You also have your depth gauge. I've drove other loaders before too, mainly Volvo, and it's about the same visibility, no real difference. So the Volvo that I drive is a little bit bigger than this, probably another 5,000 or so pounds. And this one seems to have quite a bit of power compared to that one. The old Volvo that I drive is kind of tired and old, and that might be why, but this thing has no problem digging into loam, digging into gravel, anything, pushing up snowbanks. Obviously it's very easy for this. It's a very powerful machine for the weight that it is, in my opinion. No issues with power at all. I can have this thing absolutely, and we have a small plow on this, it's only 14 feet. You can have that thing absolutely mounted with wet snow and you can go up a hill and it's not a big deal at all. I'll go ahead and move this around a little bit for you guys. So obviously you got forward here, you got reverse there, and you can go have it set either in automatic or you can manually select your gears. And I actually don't touch this. The way I shift is actually on the bottom of this here, which is really nice because then I don't have to use my left hand to constantly shift. So right now I have the parking brake on. Obviously we'll take that off just like that. And with this button down here, you can see it right there. You can choose forward or you can choose reverse or neutral. So that's really nice that they did that, having the forward and reverse on this joystick. That way you don't have to use your left hand and actually switch it manually. I love that. Let's take this out for a ride. The road speed on this thing is, they say it's 25, it's really not. When you're on flat land, it's more like 20. When you're going down a hill, it's like 25. And then when you're going up a hill, it really only does like 11, which is kind of discouraging because I literally drive this like 20 miles sometimes down the road, and obviously it's probably illegal, but I still do it all the time. And it's kind of discouraging going up hills because I thought this thing could do like 25 miles an hour, but it really can't, so that's kind of discouraging. It has great maneuverability. Obviously it's way better than a tractor. It can kind of turn a dime. It's not, you know, obviously it's not as maneuverable as a skid steer or anything, but you would think with this parking lot, with this full, that I would have a hard time basically getting around people and all that stuff, but I honestly don't. It's still agile enough that I can maneuver it just fine. Obviously when I'm plowing this road here, you'll see that these are like 11.5, maybe 12 feet lanes. So plowing with this thing, the road kind of sucks during the day because obviously I'll have people coming at me. So I'll do it usually with a skid steer. But as far as, you know, I have a lot of these curb openings essentially, and I have a whole like 40-minute video of me plowing this place. I'll probably put the link in the description or something like that. But a lot of these openings are 14 feet, which makes it really nice. As you can see here, I can basically do this entrance to the road from curb to curb with one swipe. So having a bigger pusher here wouldn't really make any sense. This is almost kind of to the max of where I can be. I wouldn't want anything bigger or smaller really. It's pretty perfect. But I'm here on a Saturday, and obviously there's no one here. It's just like the employee parking. But when this place is on a weekday, it is crazy packed. So yeah, this is an absolutely great machine. Reliability wise, it's been great. I haven't really had any issues with this. A couple of minor things here and there. I had a hose break, but that's typical. It's been extremely reliable, a lot more reliable than my skid steers. And I mean, I barely put, like I said, I barely put any hours on this. Not 100% sure what it has, but it definitely doesn't have a lot. So I bought this thing basically for one reason, and that is to plow this place. Now, I do use it in the summer, not much. I use it on one job, and that was to dig a pond, and it helped an excavator do that. But other than that, I mean, it might load some trucks and stuff in the summertime, but its main purpose of its life is to plow, and I think it does a phenomenal job with that. You know, if you get a big storm, you know, 8 inches or more or whatever, you know, that's definitely nice to have this. Obviously the backup beeping is extremely annoying, but you get used to it. So yeah, I have very little to no complaints with this. It's extremely nice, quick attach system. Makes everything quick and easy. The cab's awesome, obviously. The machine itself has plenty of power, plenty of weight. Like I said, it's very comfortable. The seat's great, air ride seat, obviously. Very adjustable steering wheel too, very adjustable seat. So anyone can be comfy in this for a long day, a long couple days sometimes. But yeah, I love it. I have no complaints, and I would definitely, if you have a big size plowing contract, I would definitely get one of these.